we will
send it.
begin. Send us my recap loads. Gentlemen, welcome back to Dungeons and Dragons this week. Hope you're all well, hope you're all good. Last we left off, the Guardians had slain Rashak, Nasir, and the Beholder. And then decided it would be a good time to get into a fight against a brigantine ship that they believed held many prisoners of the prison island. They did battle with the ship, and you were last session in the middle of the fight against the brigantine ship. It was a ferocious battle, spells were flung, blades were swung, but in the end, the Guardians came out victorious. After a brief check through the ship, it was deemed a pretty good, very capable and seaworthy ship. You consulted with some of your crew. They were in the middle of doing several checks, and you were deciding on your plans as of now as to what to do. You were trying to figure out whether it would be best to head in right now or wait till a later time to go for the island, if there was even anything left there. You decided, as a sort of mist and fog and a light rain began to sort of rain in, you decided to take the time to have a bit of a rest, wait till nightfall, get a bit of a long rest in, and you would attack the base, the prison, at dark, under the cover of darkness. You would make your way in, after also knowing that they had cannons that could fire upon. So you all get a long rest, as I said. So you all get a long rest, and as you wake, the night watch is ready. Is there anything anyone wanted to do, either over the period of the long rest or after the long rest, before you embarked on your mission into the island?
I might as well try and do some of that armor.
If you want to do the armor, you won't get a long rest, because doing the armor will take you 8 hours.
I need the rest. So
Fair enough. So, you all get the long rest. You are awoken. It has been a really long day. You can see that, like, Ponsky is absolutely knackered, and he still, because it's technically still the same fucking day, Ponsky can't do, his stuff is based on days rather than long rests. Being a werewolf, it's all to do with the moon, and now that it is like night, unless you delay a little longer, you won't be able to be werewolf. Baishal spent some time just swimming around as a dolphin, as you've seen him do before. He was just sort of swimming around. He said he's like keeping a constant watch for you guys. Though he, it is restful for him. He did spend some time resting in the ocean. He did, spend a few hours, or every now and again, just sort of like doing a bit of a circuit around. And Nathan Gylndan, you would realize, he's fucking knackered. One of his arms is like, has light marks of burning and things like that. His robe is now like one of his like the robe he wears that no longer has one of the sleeves. So he's just decided to rip the other one off too, because hey.
Oh, Nathan.
The
sleeves do not suit you. The lack of them.
Yeah, he isn't very strong, so it is just kind of like these weedy kind of lanky arms. But he'd think he looks kind of cool.
He's wrong.
Yeah, he realized after he did it, like he was looking at it in the mirror like, huh? What do you think? Huh? And he showed some of the crew, and the crew were like, yeah, we'll pick you out something nice when we get back to port. But the long rest is finished. Your three ships that are basically wrapped together, have been like tied together through ropes and hooks and all sorts of things. You've had to take a lot of the rope from the brigantine. Well, actually, no, because you're essentially wrapping. You're getting the brigantine and the vengeance, and then having the Dragon's Revenge essentially trail behind you, because it's the much smaller of the ships. So you've had to use a lot of the rope from the Dragon's Revenge to sort of tie everything up. So the Dragon's Revenge is essentially just, a bunch of wood now. A bunch of wood with some sails, but those sails aren't really connected by much. And if everyone is ready, you begin making your way into the island. Now, as I said last week, I can't be asked to run a bunch of combats against weedy little things that are like CR half to 1, and even the Inquisitors, you guys will smash you, especially at level 15, now that you're fancy level 15. So, we're going to flip the tables a little bit here today. And instead of me having to do lots of improv, because you guys change up everything that I have planned, yada, 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 I'm going to ask you guys to do a little bit of improv today. So, obviously, this is, for you guys, a fairly steady battle. But for your crew, they're about evenly matched. Your crew, Oramis, your crews now, are clearly very, very nervous for the upcoming attack. And they're in need of a bit of guidance. They're aware these cultists and how most of them have likely spent their lives as prisoners in the most ruthless prison of the land. The enemy fears them. Your crew definitely look like they could use some reassurance from their captain. Mason and Frank both come to you and sort of give you the mood of the crew. Whichever one is your first mate definitely comes to you and says, "Look, the crew are, they're ready to fight, but they're very, very nervous. They may need some inspiring words." What is it you would like to say to your crew, Oramis, before this mighty battle?
Men, fear not. We have faced many adversary together.
Galahad? Where have you been all this time?
Now,
I don't know who you are.
Oramis is quoting something Galahad said like 9
Oh, can you imagine?
Comrades.
That'd be so
Comrades. We have faced many an adversary together. And apart from that, you have me with you. I've killed the god, killed the dragon, killed a whole bunch of stuff. You don't have to worry. We are in this together. You are my boys. I know you've got this.
Okay. Make me a...
Can't say it.
Make me a performance check.
Oh.
This is you trying to, rally your crew and your men.
Yesterday, the British ambassador in Berlin. Sorry, Galahad coming out again. Oh, they don't believe it. They don't buy a word.
They don't. They're still very, very nervous. Like, to them, this is just you getting up and bragging, which it basically is. But, and they're used to, but in this time where you also know that over the past few hours, like, rumors have been going around the boat saying, like, oh, did you hear this person was in the Silverhold? He killed, like, 10 people. Like, it took, like, 20 guards to just bring him down. That sort of thing. And, you sort of getting up and bragging, and maybe it's the way you delivered it, maybe it's just the mood of the crew, maybe it's a million things, you don't know. But it didn't quite have the desired effect. Can you roll me 1d6, please, and add 1 to the result?
4.
In the upcoming fight, you will have lost 4 crew.
Oh,
No.
That's so mean.
Also, due to the amount that you are having to make up for your crew, in the upcoming fight, you will take 1 point of exhaustion.
I feel like that's irrelevant. Because I'm undead.
You can still be exhausted.
Can I?
Yeah.
Are we
You know
sure?
what I mean for exhaustion? You just don't need to... Like, you still need, like, a time of, I guess, stasis. And your body can still be tired. And so in the fight, you will, because your crew aren't, your crew are struggling, you're having to make up for them so much that it exhausts your body until you have that bit of downtime later on.
Okay.
But regardless, you sail to shore. The plan, essentially, that has been drawn up by Steve, because he has lots of plans with the island and things like that, and Mason and Frank, and maybe several of you as well, is that you're going to essentially sail up to the shore just down the way from the prison, to keep out of the range of any prying eyes. Make your way through the thicket of jungle just before the prison, and then make an attack from there. As you arrive on the beach,
before we get
you
there,
sort of oh yeah.
can I ask Oramis if he has an expensive mirror or a crystal ball
Do I?
or some such?
I have a. What do you need it for?
I need it to potentially cast scrying.
Do I, Ben?
Roll an investigation check.
Sure.
Anyone can help with this if you're looking around.
I mean,
the
I have
ships.
the eye of the
Yeah.
dragon that's jewel encrusted, but that's only worth like 200 GP or something, wasn't it?
Also not-
I'll help him look.
Okay, either roll a separate check or
Is it
roll
investigation?
with advantage. Yeah.
Knowing that Oramis isn't very good at looking, I will look myself.
Yeah, I would let somebody else also have a look at this.
Okay. Roll investigation
Oh,
check.
you're good. I think that's with advantage though, because we're helping.
But no, I either give you advantage or I roll for myself. So.
Oh, okay.
You can roll as well, Luke. And if you beat that, I'll cry.
Give it a whirl.
Looks like I'm crying, boys. Sometimes you've got to bait the good roll.
So, Gylndan, you do a pretty thorough search of this ship, but you don't. There's a few places you don't check, like the captain's quarters and things like that. But you also do a very thorough check of the other ship. Oramis, you do an even more thorough check, but you know your ship much better than Gylndan does. You know that on your ship, you don't have a mirror. You also remember that on the Dragon's Revenge, unless one has been bought, there is no mirror. But there is one place you haven't checked. This new ship that you've acquired. And as you go into the ship and you go down into the hold, you recognise you never really checked the rear room, the room behind the halfling.
Huh.
You find many chests filled with gold. Many chests filled with gold. In fact, about 4,000 gold's worth.
Holy shit.
As well as several other items and art objects that might be useful for people. One of them being a rather large, very fancy mirror. I say large, it's about sort of like yay big, about the size of like an A3 piece of paper. So, decent sized mirror. It is not as expensive as would need be required for the spell scrying. It is clearly very old, and that's maybe what makes it, valuable. But there we go. So yes, you find a mirror and 4,000 gold. Nice to just come up to 4,000 gold, isn't it?
Yeah. That 4Gs. We gonna split that 4 ways, and I'll siphon off a section of my own for the crew.
Are you offering money out?
Sorry, that's very out of character, wasn't it?
I mean,
I'm shocked.
one thing I would say, Aramis, so you're looking around and you would recognise that this back room is locked. And I didn't make you roll for it because it's a meaningless roll, it's like DC 10. But you do, you unlock it easily enough. Like your men never checked it and they just thought, oh, it's the hole. It's probably just, food stores or nothing. Yeah, and then, so, with your thieves' tools kit, I would say you open it up, see lots of chests of gold, and you're on your own down here. No one else has come down.
Oh well. We'll come back to that one for the journey home.
Okay. Make a note then that you found 4,000 gold in the back of this ship. But from down there, a mirror. Very nice looking mirror. wooden edges. It's clearly painted gold, but still looks and very nice and is, very nicely carved. Wonderful. So if you want, you can take that back up and take that.
Oh, what treat, Luke? Oh, 200 gold.
So, I assume you bring your finding to Felix. Of the mirror, anyway.
Yes.
The gold.
I bring the mirror, and I will eventually discuss the gold.
Cool. Felix, you see Oramis come up the sort of like cross from one ship to the other. Like the crew have made like gangplanks and things from some of the wooden boarding on the Dragon's Revenge. He manages to come up to you with this rather large mirror. It's actually, not too far off the size of you. What would you like to do?
Well, you said it wasn't of the value necessary.
Not how much does it need to be worth?
1,000 gold.
1,000 gold. Oh yeah. No, not 1,000 gold. Maybe like 400 or 500 gold to the right buyer.
What if I
1,000?
Felix, do you say that this doesn't have a high enough value?
Yeah.
What if I whip out platinum piece and just put it on top of the mirror and say, does that work?
I don't think that will work.
You've not amused him.
But I'll take your 1 platinum piece and I'll add it to the 99 platinum pieces I have, and I'll cast Fabricate on that.
What the fuck?
To turn 100 platinum pieces into a polished sheet of reflective platinum.
Okay, very nice. Yeah, you transform this into a beautiful sort of sheet of platinum, almost like a backing for this wonderful mirror. It makes the mirror fucking heavy. It's gonna take you're a strong guy, but you're even gonna need some help to move.
Well, I was kind of assuming this was independent of the mirror. If I'm just making a 1,000 platinum sheet.
A sheet of platinum.
I'm just making my own mirror.
If you want a portable scrying mirror, you don't want something massive you got to lug around, do you?
No, I'm gonna have to get something, but for the time being, this will.
A mirror made of platinum?
I mean, it's a shiny reflective surface. I figure.
No, but if it's a polished surface, yeah.
Mirrors are normally.
You let someone cast it in a crystal a little while ago.
Mirrors of that time would ordinarily be made of silver, I think, because they could be polished to a high sheen and fronted with glass. I'm doing the same thing, just with platinum, because it's easy to get the value, rather than 1,000 gold's worth of silver.
I see. Sure.
Because it's Fabricate, I can turn it. I can use wood from the ship and crates and stuff like that as well to give it a frame and all that sort of
thing. You're not fucking tearing apart my ship, son. Hang about.
I'll tear apart Nathan's ship. It's fine.
Nathan's happy for his ship to be torn apart. So
Nathan's on a shit.
I don't seem to remember an agreement being reached.
I think it was.
I'll allow it. Yeah, sure. Fuck it. Why not? You craft this wonderful sort of very, very polished surface. This extremely polished surface. It's not quite 100% like a mirror, but it is reflective enough that it technically counts for the purpose of the spell. So you now have a platinum mirror, so to speak.
Excellent. I would also now I have this mirror to cast scrying.
Okie dokie. So tell me about scrying. They need to make a saving throw. Or
yes, let me just
whatever.
Drop that in there for you.
So targets make a wisdom saving throw, which is modified by how well you know the target and what sort of connection you have to it. If the target knows you're casting the spell, it can fail the saving throw voluntarily if it wants to be observed. Knowledge, save modifier, second hand. You've heard of the target first hand, you've met the target, familiar, you know the target well. So it has -5 to the save. Likeness or picture. Do you have a possession from your partner or your daughter?
I would like to say yes. I don't have anything specific written down, but I'd like to say yes.
Okay, what thing would Felix keep on him? You know, I can imagine Felix is at least a tiny bit of a romantic, and he likes to keep something from his wife or his daughter. That would make more sense.
Yeah.
What small thing would Felix realistically keep?
So Felix's spellbook has a number of bookmarks. You know how like books can have like little like ribbons and stuff like that to attach to keep bookmarks. Felix has like sort of a multitude of these, and several of them are like little ribbons and stuff that he used to like help like tie up his daughter's hair and stuff with. And he's like, over the sort of like iterations as it, they sort of grew out of that sort of thing, he took a couple and kept them and turned them into like bookmarks for his spellbook.
Okay, yeah, I like that. So, yeah, you have one of those. So possession or garment -4, or the like. Possession or garment, body part, lock of hair, bit of nail, or the like -10. On a successful save, the target isn't affected. On a failed save, the target creates. Okay, so you need to roll a wisdom save for your wife. That's a natural 20 from your wife. But with a -5 and a -4, I would say your wife, to marry the likes of you, she has to have at least -wisdom.
Oh! I am wounded, sir.
I am of course kidding. With the minuses, no, your wife fails the save. So, you look into this reflective surface, you like prop it up against the side, and you spend some time looking at the sort of surface, thinking on your wife and casting the spell. And imagine casting scrying, especially on a surface like this, as sort of moving your hand in sort of sigils over the surface of the reflective surface, sort of holding that item, thinking of her in your head, and it's almost like you're thrust almost into the mirror itself, and your mind is thrust up and over the ship, it seems, and over the island, and then down into and towards the prison. You're not exactly aware of where inside the prison. Your mind just sort of like collapses into the prison, and you appear in a very, very dark room with a singular window. The window, as far actually no, you're doing it on your wife, so you're aware that there is a door, and this door has a little window with the light coming from it, but that's about it. And inside, you see your wife sat in the corner, sort of like stroking the head of your daughter as she is getting some sleep. She is sort of sat there humming a tune to her, trying to get to sleep. They both look very tired. Her hair is very, very much a mess. But she is all right. She looks... make me a perception check.
A natural 20.
Yeah. He looks healthier than the prisoners that you've seen here. No, I don't forget. It's just these people are in extremely dire circumstances. So
it's a sweet moment, I see.
I think it makes sense that
I'd sing in dire circumstances.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
jolly good.
yes, this is going on. You realise that. Well, yeah, you realise a couple of things. So, firstly, that your wife and your daughter look healthier than the prisoners you just recovered. The prisoners you just recovered look very, very pale and like they hadn't eaten in a very long time. Their like cheeks were a bit sunk in, and their eyes were a little sunken in, and stuff like that. Your wife and daughter look, yeah, there is color to their cheeks. There is, niceness there. There is one thing you notice though, and that is a mark running down her left hand. A mark. It looks like a jolt of white that scatters off, almost like she's been struck by lightning, in her arm that slightly goes up to her cheek. But otherwise, she is fine. She's just sat here in this room. Your daughter laying her head on your wife's lap. She's singing her a small tune to help her to sleep. Anything else anyone would like to do before they head to shore?
So we're about to head in.
Yes, you're about to head in. The ships are now sort of like slowly moving in towards one of the beaches to essentially beach themselves, and for you guys
what's waiting for us?
You're not entirely sure at the minute. I'd say that between 3 pirate ships, there would be a spyglass somewhere. So if someone wants to, they can make a check.
I'll have a gander. I see. Am I holding this the wrong way around?
You look.
It looks further away.
You look through the spyglass, and it's at that point you remember. Ah, yes, I'm a human. I can't see in the dark.
I take the spyglass.
Oh god! I hand it 3 feet up from me to the lizard man.
I'm just like this.
Do you have dark vision, Kaiman?
Yes.
I beg you don't.
No, I'm pretty sure I do.
It's the blind leading the blind.
How does dark
pretty
vision
sure
work
you
with a
do.
spyglass?
Where is it?
Well, I imagine it to sort of be like, because it's enhancing your view of something like further away, and dark vision. I'd imagine it helps a tiny. At the very least.
On this
I don't
full
see it
moon that
on
we
my
have. Oh no, we're one
Well,
night
I'd
off
say
a
it's-
full moon. So it is
Yeah, so it's
brightly
fair.
lit.
Roll me a perception check, Kaiman.
Oh, that's much
Bloody
better.
hell.
Lizard man
That is
sees
much
all.
better. Yeah. You take the thing and you're looking at it and you're like, let me give it a try. And you hold it, and almost as if you're like twisting it or something like that, you twist it one more time and you realize there's an extra bit that Gylndan didn't quite do, and you're just fiddling around with it, and that helps you see it a little bit further. And you can't see anything awaiting you on the shore. Looking towards the prison itself, there is now a guard amongst the prison. There is now a force upon the walls and things. You don't suspect that they've seen your ship at all. You don't suspect that they have seen anything like that. But there is certainly a force maybe in and around the prison. Actually, with 25, I think you would see, maybe just in the jungle, a few very, very small lights, like orange lights, almost like torches. They're very sparse. Maybe there's only about 4 or 5, but you do see them. As if you think there might be a couple of people in the jungle itself. Maybe not a lot, but there might be a force in the jungle.
How far are we from this?
I would say you are at least several hundred feet, which your boat will probably sail to and get to in the next 20 minutes.
And we're sending Oramis's crew into battle.
I'm assuming you guys are going to.
You know.
Yeah. And the plan essentially
expendable,
is
right?
that they. The plan
Oh,
that was decided upon, unless you guys have a better one, is that you would park up, sort of like out of range of any cannons or whatever that might be on the prison, and then march through the jungle towards the prison itself. Unless you guys have a better plan, of course, then you can discuss.
Is there anywhere to dock at the prison? Or?
At the prison there is, but it is literally right in front of the massive tower. So the prison itself is like a massive triangular tower that's right on the edge of a cliff. And at the base of this cliff there is a large sort of cave opening, and you can see inside there several small pricks of torchlight inside. That would be the docks that they would use to bring people into the prison, essentially.
I mean, if we want to go full frontal assault, I've got something that could help us barrage in.
Sure.
A new toy, if you like. But I don't mind going through the jungle.
It's up to you guys.
It's a bit bold.
I'm offering the full frontal assault and a bit of fun, maybe. Who knows?
That's not an offer you get every day.
Oh, what a full frontal assault and a bit of fun.
No, exactly.
We gotta be careful these days. Not everyone wants it.
Oh, it's up to you guys. Are you taking the jungle route or the full frontal assault route?
Full frontal, let's go.
Full frontal, right. So you're instead, I will remind you, because you're essentially, you have the crew of 2 ships sailing 3, you're moving at half speed, sailing your ships. But you can just sail up if you want to. That is absolutely fine. So...
We have a lot of innocent and vulnerable people on these ships. Should we not take a more cautious approach?
What sort of defense is it that they have? Are we going to get bombarded?
Well, you're aware...
They were shooting cannons at us yesterday.
Yeah.
Could we put the weak and vulnerable on the 3rd boat and then drop that back? Could we have discussed this before we ran up the estuary?
Yeah. I'll say you guys could absolutely discuss this right after your store.
So we could have the 3rd boat with people on, and then the 2 boats doing the assault.
But we don't have enough crew for 3 boats.
Yeah, but they could just anchor up out of range in the 3rd boat.
Yeah, you don't need much crew to keep a boat stationary for a couple of hours.
And need maybe 5 or 6 people. If you were to make that the Dragon's Revenge, 5 people.
Well, the Dragon's Revenge is crewed by 10 people.
Yeah.
Are any of these ones the ones beaching? Because do you really need to you're beaching it, so.
I know we're docking. We're not beaching them. Oramis is not going to beach his boats.
I heard beaching a second ago.
Well, the previous plan was to get essentially as close to the beach as you can, anchor up, and then.
Ryan, if you had any idea what this man's been through to get his boats, every time there's an opportunity, he harasses Ben. Is that a water vessel? Is it over 30 feet? I'm interested.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Just see a bucket go overboard. Mine.
Right. Yeah, if we're all happy with taking the 2 boats, so we're leaving the Dragon's Revenge behind, and then we're taking the Vengeance. Is that your other one?
The Vengeance.
And the Diviner.
No.
Nathan's ship.
Nation's Fury.
I don't know if you heard at the beginning of the session, Luke, but Nathan's ripped his sleeves off, so he's a captain now.
Oh, he's a captain. Well,
Yeah.
I challenge him right now to a duel, 1-on-1, no interference.
Oh, right, no interference. I see. Okay.
Did you level Nathan up, Sam?
No.
Oh, good. Even better.
I'll send you the thing for leveling up a sidekick. And you can do that.
Nathan's suddenly taking a lot of points in strength to beat Luke in an arm wrestle. Beat Oramis, sorry.
To be fair, he doesn't. He gets an extra spell slot for
more scorching rays
for this level, and an extra spell that he learns. So you can pick that out for him and do that stuff for him if you'd like. I'll just pop that in the in this chat for this call. Actually, I've got you right there. I'll just send that to you now. Cool. So yes, you're leaving some people behind in the Dragon's Revenge, and then taking everyone else in the two boats towards the island. Cool.
Let me know when we are within 120 feet of the enemy.
20 feet of the enemy. Fucking got it. So you're sailing along. You leave, obviously, Dragon's Revenge behind. Sailing towards the island. It is still a little slower going. Like you aren't able. Like neither ship is able to get up to full mast, just because it doesn't have the entire crew. For this, for a brigantine and a frigate. But you're sufficient enough to at least have them moving at a somewhat alright speed. As you get within, the normal range for a cannon is around 300 odd feet. When you get about within half that range, you suddenly hear a bell chiming from the prison. As even in darkness, because of the full moon, and because of, fullish moon, and because, two very big ships coming in, you are spotted. And there are one or two cannon shots fired towards you, so
Are we not flying black sails?
No, actually, I believe Oramis has bright golden sails on the frigate.
Doesn't sound like Oramis.
So I'll just roll a couple of... Okay, the first one's a 1. So
we're discussing stealth, and then suddenly Oramis's trumpet player blares out as Senate.
So that is a 12 to hit the frigate, the Vengeance.
I will tell you, Benjamin, that hits.
That hits. And a 14 to hit the other ship, which hits. So I'm just going to roll the same damage for both ships now.
Oh, I would laugh if one ship gets sunk.
3, 9 plus.
So
both ships take 12 points of damage.
I don't have a character sheet, by the way, for the other ship.
You don't, because I want to be it, but I will do.
Yeah, no, just saying, so I can't track it.
Yeah, just keep a note of it.
Basically, the damage doesn't exist.
What damage?
Keep a note of it somewhere. That ship has taken 12 points of
How
damage.
much HP does your ship have normally, Luke?
60.
But you have taken some damage today.
Yeah.
So be warned. I believe I have.
Yes, I do.
It's a very important role. One of your crew would be assigned to be the carpenter. The brigantine, by the way, has HP for brigantine 52 HP. So keep that in mind. You've lost 12 HP out of 52. You now make it in 120 feet of the prison.
Right. So is the prison like it says people on the walls? Where are the cannons?
The cannons are, so if you imagine there's a large tower
in
the middle, and then on these sort of smaller, behind that then, there is an infrastructure that would be sort of like the administrative parts of it, and the places where...
Oh, absolutely targeting the administrative bit.
The people would, like the guards and stuff that are staying there would live, and, the people who run the prison, places that they would live, and upon those is like a wall. What's that? Crenellated wall. And that's where the cannons are.
Okay. I will summon an illusory dragon. So you'll see Gylndan will start to swirl some shadow above his head, and he'll sort of start stretching it out this long form, and it will look kind of serpenty, have some wings and some little feet, and then he'll just shoot some lightning into it, and that'll bring this massive shadow to life. And it is a massive crackly shadow dragon.
All right. Seems pretty cool. Probably looks a little bit like Rashak in the Night of Dark, but here we go.
Yeah, and then so everyone that can see it has to make a wisdom saving throw or become frightened for a minute.
Okay. I'm gonna roll 2 for essentially the 2 shots that it took, 2 sides of the thing. They have advantage on being frightened, all cultists do. So the first one is a mighty 12.
Fails.
And the second one is a mighty 18.
That also fails. 19.
Alrighty. So both sides are frightened by this massive dragon. Obviously, seeing this huge dragon, but realizing, oh shit, these guys have dragons too. What the fuck?
And then I will use, as part of the action, the dragon can cast a cone of lightning.
Okay.
It's an intelligence saving throw.
Intelligence saving throw. Okay. So I'll do it for one side first, as it would probably go around, one side then the other.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a 9.
Either fail.
That is unsurprising. Roll up some damage for this illusory dragon.
7d6. .28 damage.
Yeah, so you summon this obviously massive dragon, and it begins like flying and swirling around the area. You can see Vaishal looking up at this now. Ah, damn! If I could be a dragon right now. I mean, not that I am a dragon. He's looking around to the rest of the group. And this huge thing starts like swirling and weaving its way through the sky, and it goes up to the side of one of the sides of the long array of people and cannons, and you can see now that you're starting to get into range, like bows are being drawn and things like that, and this dragon just does a long sweep of lightning all across the top. The lightning sort of just slams down, crackles, destroys. Wait, what is it? Lightning damage or is it psychic damage? Did they say?
It'd be lightning, I
Lightning.
believe.
I was thinking, because if it's an intelligence saving throw and it's a illusory dragon, does it is it really there? It's my
when you create a dragon, choose a damage type. So I chose lightning. Each creature
Okay.
must make an intelligence saving throw.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so you see this thing just strike down. The lightning starts destroying the stone and throwing pieces of the crenellations and stuff off. You can see many of the cultists sort of flung off the sides of the damage that this lightning is doing, and the battle is well underway. You can see many bows and long bows being drawn up and start firing towards this dragon as just suddenly chaos is erupting over that side. So that's pretty much those cannons and those things dealt with. By the way, as you're coming into these underground docks, essentially, is there anything else anyone would like to do before you make it to the docks?
I can attack every 6 seconds with that thing, so I'll just keep spamming the shit out of it.
Yeah, well, I'm assuming obviously as you're sailing in, because that would take a matter of minutes. You're essentially, if we were to run this round by round, you're getting your dragon to fly over, cone breath, fly over, cone breath, fly over, cone breath. Can it take damage? Does it have HP and AC and all that, or is it?
No.
No. Fuck. All right.
The illusion is tangible because of the shadow stuff used to create it, but attacks miss it automatically. It succeeds on all saving throws and is immune to all damaging conditions.
Nice.
8th level spells, yo.
Welcome to the 8th level.
Yeah, so you can see these things are firing up against it, and you can hear cries of, "How are we meant to kill this thing?" It is just destroying the top of this space. The other side, you can see soldiers are now being diverted from there down to, and they're almost, you've fought in enough battles and you have enough sense to think that, okay, they're just accepting that you're going to get here. They're now pulling men out for a more defensive position. And as you all begin to dock up, you can see coming from, so in this dock, in this large sort of cave, you can see lots of stalactites in the ceiling, and you can see many very ominous looking like torches all around the side of this like large cave mouth. And at the very end of the cave mouth is this large sort of like constructed wooden dock. It's like large and very, very wide, obviously because realistically they would have to bring prisoners into here and unload them and get them all sort of set. So there's still like, there's cages and small jail cells for them to put people in. And this is a large sort of section. And there is this small there's this stone, essentially structure that leads into the back of the cave that you imagine sort of winds its way up into the prison proper. You undock. Your men immediately begin the charge, and you too also begin the charge. And the first fight against the cultists of this space is well underway. Now, as you're all fighting in this battle, you're all doing very, very well. It's not a particularly, hard-fought battle. This isn't a massive amount of their forces. But they do seem to be running, in particular, away from Kaiman. And many of them, in fact, actually just start fleeing the battle entirely, fearing the powerful crocodile. Kaiman, what is it you're doing in this battle to make people so scared of you? How is Kaiman utilizing his spells and his abilities to scare the living shit out of all these cultists?
Whips out spinning drum.
Well, starts war crying with his little drum thing.
That would be so minute in your hands.
It is. It's just like
it is really tiny.
Just two fingers to use it.
Is there a control weather spell?
That is that's 8th level. I think you get it, maybe.
I got sunburst instead. How that is a good question. I don't even know where I am.
Well, imagine you're on this large dock fighting a bunch of cultists. Imagine, forget D&D combat rules or whatever. What does Kaiman do to terrify these soldiers so much?
Just really big, stretching out and doing the crocodile low rumble that shakes the boards.
So yeah, just almost drawing on your monstrous side to terrify these things. Okay, make me an intimidation check. I'll allow you to use your strength if that's higher, or your charisma if that's higher. You good?
That was not worth the wait.
Do you have proficiency in intimidation? Where's your sheet? Let me help you out a little bit here just to see something. No, you have a -2 in intimidation. Okay. So yeah. Okay. So as much as you do this and it works, that wears you out quite a bit. And in this fight where you're utilizing this, almost like scare tactic to do this, yeah, it wears you out quite a bit. Can you roll me 2d4, please?
I was muted. I should have used survival and just done what crocodiles do in the wild.
This is more you intimidating things than drawing on any knowledge or experience of anything like
that. What am I clicking?
2d4. So there should be some a symbol of dice on the left hand side. Click that and then roll the d4 thing twice. 5. Okay. So can you expend spell slots up to 5. So you can expend like a 2nd level and a 3rd level, or just 1 5th level slot.
Okay.
Or 4 first levels and a 2nd level, whatever you want. You
Yeah,
also,
one 5th level.
Okay. You also gain 1 point of exhaustion.
Okay.
But the battle rages on. You push the enemy back up the stairs and into the tight, narrow corridors of this prison. As you push up, you are immediately sort of like brought, as I say, into these sort of like tight, narrow corridors that definitely would make one feel very gloomy in such a place. The porches and sconces are quite far apart and things like that. There is a holdout of troops in this area led by a particularly proud-looking inquisitor. He's a sort of very, very large Goliath man. With his horrible tattoos all over his body. Gylndan, in this battle, you have some strange way. You utilize a few different tactics, a few stranger tactics than you've used before with your spell casting. What kind of tactics and things was Gylndan utilizing in this fight, this spell casting, that was a little bit weirder than normal?
He was probably being reserved with spell slots. I'm only joking. The motherfucker was fireballing. No. What's different?
Or how are you using a regular spell, but in a slightly different way than you normally would?
I think I'd be, because I've not fought with a massive force before, like a big force. I'd probably be like using more things like Wall of Force, just to calling people off and stuff like that. So actually more like directing the battlefield rather than being a player in it necessarily. Like the same with the illusionary dragon, like just doing stuff that will affect the outcome of the battle rather than just me fighting with an individual.
Okay, I like that. That's pretty cool. Make me a spellcasting check. So intelligence plus proficiency.
Intelligence plus proficiency. Do you know what? I'm just going to use one of my divination rolls. So that is 28.
28. Very nice. Roll me 2d4.
2d4. 6.
6. So half that to 3. Expend 3 levels worth of spell slots. And I'd probably say expend a Wall of Force, because you did mention that, and that's just really cool. But you don't get any exhaustion. You go through this fight and the others pretty well.
Expend 3 levels worth of spell slots.
Yes.
But like 1, 2, and a 1 or something like that.
Yeah. So it can be like either a 3rd level or 2 and a 1 or 3 1s.
I see.
After defeating this troop, the battle definitely looks a lot more in your favor, and you push the enemy out into the sort of like courtyard from here. So you realize that from here, the way into the prison, you have a way into the prison itself. But you realize that even if you went to get the prisoners now, they wouldn't be safe necessarily. If you just went to get them now, you're going to have to deal with the larger force of these cultists before even going anywhere or doing anything to ensure their safety. And so you push them out into the corridors. The troops are back with you. Oramis faces, these 4 losses, sadly, but, your men rally on. And you finally face the seemingly last force out in the courtyard. In this final battle, you are somewhat hard pressed, as in you're starting to get kind of tired. Not that, they're difficult or anything, but this is a lot of cultists. This prison held upwards of 500 prisoners at one time. So you're facing a lot of people. And in this battle, Felix, given the desperation of the fight, you also utilize some stranger tactics, using your sort of mix of spell casting and your prowess in combat to very, very good effect here. What is it that Felix was doing during this fight to really finish things off?
Riding a dragon.
Don't care.
Riding it.
Fucking
Oh,
hell,
yes, because you can obviously summon.
I can summon it. I can summon. I will use Summon Draconic Spirit to summon a dragon I can ride, and then ride that around over the battlefield and mess shit up.
That is pretty sick. All right. So expend the spell slot for that, and then roll me. I'll say the same. An intelligence, an intelligence check, +5 for proficiency.
14.
14. Yeah. So even with this, you're finding you're having to use some spells and things like that. Roll me 2d4. Ah, there we are. 3. So can you expend 3 levels worth of spells, and you gain a point of exhaustion. Given your checks, and given several other things that sort of like occurred in the battle and the nature of the battle itself, you found that you were fighting for maybe half an hour to an hour. But in the end, the battle somewhat finishes with a force of the cultists, the final force of the cultists, pulling back outside the courtyard and running off into the jungle itself. There's maybe only a dozen cultists doing this, and they sprint off, terrified, into the jungle. With that, you stand in this courtyard, each of you, somewhat covered in some blood and sort of battle-scarred in your own ways and things like that, but the fight is pretty much over for now. You're tired, some of you more than others, but it is done. Your crew, Oramis, begins securing the area, getting men on the battlements ready for these 12 to come back. The rest of them begin searching the area, sort of going through room by room in this prison to find anyone left. And I'll then hand it over to you guys. What would you, given the now lack of cultists in this place, what would you like to do?
Why did we raid this place again? Are we looking for more prisoners?
Well, we're looking for potentially Felix's wife and daughter. Can I cast True Sight using my eye?
Absolutely. You cast True Sight. You suddenly sort of feel this. When you cast True Sight, I don't think you've ever done it with your eye before. And when you do it, you almost feel this strange, almost like vibrating in the side of your eye. It's like a very, very low vibration inside of your head, and it's a very weird experience. But you do it. It gives it a slight glow. So, yeah, you have True Sight. Suddenly the dark of the night doesn't seem to impact you at all. You can see perfectly clearly out into the forest, out up the space, out fucking everywhere.
Can I see anything that potentially magical or that might be trying to conceal something?
Not from the courtyard, but if you were to go inside, I would say that this would come down to then a skill check. So, essentially, Oramis, if you're using your True Seeing Eye, I'll allow you to use your spell casting for this check if you wanted to. So, if you want, you can be the first person to do this and roll me a charisma check +5 as your input to the skill check to see what you find in and around this place.
Okay. 17.
17. Right, yeah, you definitely managed to find a few arcane sigils, maybe left by Nasir, maybe left by some of the other cultists that you make sure people stay away from, a couple of traps that might have sprung, that sort of thing. Who else would like to offer something to the skill check? Any skill that you're proficient in other than,
Is this to find Felix's wife and daughter, or can we do our own thing?
You can
as much as I'm interested in finding Felix's wife and daughter.
You can certainly do your own thing.
I will tell you what, I'll do that first because that's a pressing issue.
Okay. What skill would you like to utilize here to try and do this?
What were we looking for, Oramis? Like magical stuff?
Yes.
Okay, I'll use my brain to try and think of where you would hide people. So if you allow me to roll an investigation.
Yeah, of course. Investigation works very well for trying to find people.
23.
23, yeah, absolutely. We'll come to more about that in a second, but yeah, you're definitely able to, maneuver your way around this place. There are still signs and everything up, and you're able to sort of follow those to the correct paths to find to and fro. That
Just a general question quickly, sorry, Ben. So yeah. Obviously this is the Silverhold prison.
Yeah.
But when we were fighting through, was there anyone that was still prisoner, or was it just everyone that became part of this?
As far as you could see from the path you would have had to have taken up, you saw that there was no... I mean, you didn't go past the prison cells and things like that, but you couldn't see any other prisoners or anything like that. You could probably see a bunch of dead guards and things around, but no other prisoners. To do that, you'd have to go into the main sort of like prison proper, the actual like cells and the actual wards. But we'll get to that in a we'll
that's okay. Cool.
Particularly with your role. Felix and Kaiman, what would you guys like to offer to this skill challenge?
Have we taken any prisoners? Have we taken anyone alive who could be
that is up to you.
Or interrogated?
That is entirely up to you. If you would like to, we can say that you did. We can say that you managed to subdue several people. Of course.
I can have all the prisoners tied to me, because there's no way that they're like dragging me away.
You are a very, very big boy in very big boy armor. Yeah. So if you want, you can say that. We'll say that Frank and Mason managed to subdue a cultist. One of the Inquisitors, he was on like very, very low HP, and they managed to slice down the back of his calf, so he's not able to run anymore.
God! Just hold him.
String him.
Well, it was more of a thing of like they cut down the back of his calf to try and cut him down, but when he like fell, he became unconscious from blood loss, and they're like, oh, well, I guess we have a prisoner now. So, upon inquiring about prisoners, you can go up to them and try and awake this person and question him. So that would probably be a persuasion or intimidation check. Try and question this person, and then we can get to, depending on your role, we can get to what you might learn from them.
Yeah, I will make a persuasion check to try and tease some information out of this individual.
Okay.
Oh, good. The game hates me.
14. The devoutness of these people is maybe something to admire, as it looks like this person is being very, very tight-lipped. But we'll maybe get to some more interrogation if that's a thing you wanted to do. Kaiman, what would you like to offer to the skill check? You're trying to find people in the prison. What skill would you be using as Kaiman to try and do this?
Maybe. Oh, perception.
Yeah.
That's my highest one. Boom.
23. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, looking around, probably helping out Gylndan and things like that. Helping around, looking around. You're absolutely able to find people, to find things. So good job on that one. So we'll go through with what would sort of immediately happen after the fight. So first we'll go with Felix. So you've you've awoken this guy and you're trying to tease some information out of him, but he's not budging. He's not moving. He keeps, spitting in your face, telling you that, Rashak sees all, that Tiamat sees all, she will help him, and if they guide him to another life, then so be it. Is there anything you'd like to do with this individual, or would you give up afterwards?
No, I just give up.
Okay. That then moves on to Gylndan, and so obviously Oramis, you're using your true sight to I would say you're walking with Gylndan and Kaiman, sort of moving around the place trying to find things. You're able to point out a few sort of arcane runes on the ground that maybe look a little skeptical and strange, particularly with your passive perception, Oramis. You're able to identify these. And you do find your way to the main prison ward. Most of the doors of this place are bashed open, cell doors bashed open, things like that. And you find yourself in the main prison area. Now, the main prison area, as I said, the main prison is like a massive triangular tower. And as you approach and enter in, you can see that all the prison cells look to the interior of this tower. There's seemingly no roof. So it is just this massive, like triangular hole. And all the prison cells look inwards, and they're all sort of set along the line of the triangle. At the bottom of this massive triangle, it seems the floor has collapsed. And in this floor collapse, there is a massive pit of acid. Glowing, bright green, bubbling, and sort of spitting, almost like bubbling and spitting, almost like you would imagine lava would, but it smells rotten, horrible, and really cold. And there are walkways across the several parts. Sadly, I never finished the map I didn't really see the point in finishing the map for the big fight that was to happen here, but a lot of sort of walkways over this large open space of acid. And on the lower floors, you can see cells filled with gold, and they're very evenly separated. So you can see certain cells filled with gold, others filled with items like similar art objects, like mirrors, like chairs, you can see maybe a couple of bits of weaponry and things like that. And on the other side, you can see many similar things, but they're all religious in nature. You can see diadems of certain gods and holy symbols of people. Not every cell is filled up, obviously. And look up higher, you can see, as you were saying, Sam, several prisoners that maybe didn't defect into the order. These are generally the crazies, the people who are, should be in a mental institute or asylum that have, killed people out of madness. And these people are were essentially all shoved into a few cells on the sort of around the middle ring. And as you continue rising, it is there you find most, if not all, of the other prisoners in this space. You see they've all been separated, so halflings in several cells up one side of the triangle, humans and elves and other people like that in another side, and then a whole other side devoted to lizard folk. Lots and lots of lizard folk, maybe about sort of 20 to 25 lizard folk, and they see you coming up the stairs, and you can note that as you all come up the stairs, they begin chanting, Kaiman, 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 as you're coming up the stairs. But you would note that in the halflings and several people here, you do not find the wife and daughter of Felix. But you do find these many people. And as you begin coming up the stairs on these walkways, they are all excitedly shouting towards you, over here, please, let us help, please, are you here to save us? And people are starting to chant, and people are starting to become very, very excited at the prospect of being free.
Where did your scrying take you to, JJ?
It was just a room was all I got. I didn't get any extra details about it. It was just a room somewhere within the prison.
What have we got spell-wise that could help?
Maybe some people can help you. Maybe.
Hello, people, could you help us?
Maybe there are signs that point to certain ways. I don't know. I mean, many. I mean, I'm assuming you would unlock the cells to all the people and things like that.
Each time we let them go, we ask if they've done anything bad.
If any of these people,
were you here before, or
no? None of all these people seem to be. They seem to be separated into the, separated from all the people that were here before, and they seem to be like the halflings from Dawnport, or the lizard folk that Timon seems to know and acknowledge, or several people, humans, elves, and things that all seem to be fairly. I guess they have that. They have the look of sailors about them. They're wearing just like long duster coats. Some of them still have like hats. They have tattoos on them, and they have the builds you've seen on many of Oramis's crew, that of sailors, and they have like sort of calloused hands from working on rope and different things like that.
Can I start chirping these boys?
Yeah, sure. What would you say?
I'd just say that they've been freed by the Guardians, and that if they're looking for work, there's a bountiful employ on the Vengeance and my new ship.
You begin speaking, and one man who seems to speak for most of these people comes up, and he sort of steps up and says, Vengeance, can't say I've heard of it. Where do you hail from, friend? Where does the ship make port?
Most recently, the Shattered Coast.
Oh. Can't say many of us have ever been there. We run a merchant ship. Generally just went up and down the sort of south and west coast of Ambyr. Sadly, that ship and our captain's, bottom of the sea. I'm assuming, look, you're not merchants, are you?
I am a merchant of sorts.
What kind of sorts?
Well, just general hero kind of covers everything, I feel.
I see. One of his friends flicks him on the ears have you not heard of the Guardians? No, why would I have heard of the Guardians?
You must have seen the play.
Really not heard of the Guardians? Yeah, come on, they had a play and everything. None of us are rich enough to see that sort of thing, or really interested. But apparently it was quite good.
Very good. Not seen it.
So I've heard. And you see a couple of people murmuring along. And this sort of main individual is a tall human man, like bald head. He looks at you and says, what's the pay situation like?
Sporadic. You hear Gylndan shout.
Let's put it this way. My crew have just been paid. What was the value of the pay that we kind of stole from the crab men? Was it like 20 gold pieces each or something?
It was a pearl worth 100 gold pieces each.
My crew have just been paid 100 gold pieces each for a simple run from the Shattered Coast down to Silverhold.
Interesting.
Not lie, the dangers can sometimes be great, but the rewards are even greater.
Oh, go on then, have your persuasion check.
God's sake.
Go on.
Can't wait to roll on that one.
30 plus. That's one. My one is on 30 plus. Oh, rubbish.
Oh, that's
a lot of 23s.
Weak.
That's very weird. Still, a 23 against common sailors. I mean, I'll roll a couple of checks. 3, a 1, and a 4. That's terrible rolls. So yeah, they kind of look at you. Many them sort of look together. Give us a minute, and they all sort of turn around and begin huddling together. And as they huddle, many of them are already decided. As soon as you mentioned 100 gold pieces worth of pearls, you can see many eyes widen, and also you think maybe that the somewhat poor adventure seems to have sparked in many of these people. And yeah, you definitely think that amongst these 25 people, let's say 25 people, at least 20 of them are willing to join your crew. At least. Whether you'll take them all, that's up to you. But
I've got a whole new ship I need to crew, plus the ones that died, so...
There's been no official change of papers for this new ship.
I think there was. Yeah. Do you want to roll a persuasion check on that?
You can't persuade me.
I 100% I can.
I think
like
Nathan
in game.
I think Nathan briefly talked to you about it, but I don't think there was ever 100%.
I think it was retire to receive some wise counsel. I think was the end of that discussion. No important decision should be made after the heat of battle. It can be yours, Oramis, for a fair price. I seem to notice I'm sure there's plenty of gold here that you'll take.
I'll give you 1,000 gold pieces
For the ship.
for the ship.
I don't know.
What does
Does
Gylndan know
Nathan know
about the
anything
going
about
rate
ships?
of
Is that a good
ships?
deal?
Roll me an intelligence check.
For Nathan or for me?
I would say for you, as Nathan is he's doing that thing where he's pretending that he's in charge of this situation, but he's constantly deferring to you when talking to
I'd like you to speak to my assistant, Gylndan.
15, yeah. You know that, Oramis bought his little diddy one for 200. Some of the, you could not buy a ship as grand as a brigantine ship for 1,000 gold. That would be worth it. You would be spending more than 1,000 gold to buy one of these.
Yeah, but then there is also the intelligent side of thinking. Actually, Nathan has no ownership rights to this ship, and 1,000 gold is more than he had a minute ago. So
there is, and you can see as soon as you bring up 1,000 gold, Nathan's eyes are wide. He's like, "Oh, what can I do with 1,000 gold? Fuck." A couple of weeks ago, I was living in the hospital wing of a bard's college. Now I'm making wages for 1,000 gold. Let's go.
I think we'll accept your offer, Oramis.
Right.
Okay. Knock off 1,000 gold, Oramis.
Oh no, this is coming out of the gold that's already on the ship that they don't know about yet.
Ah, okay. Cool.
Nathan is suddenly very rich.
Guys, I've got 3k gold. We can split 4 ways.
I thought you said it was 200. I know interest rates aren't bad at the moment, but that's taking the piss.
It's an investment.
Can we have a little sift through the gold, weapons, items, all that shit?
Yeah, sure. You see many items. Oramis, does True Sight allow you to see magical things, or
I believe so.
I believe it allows you to see through illusion.
Let me just double check the spell description.
It allows you to see, detect magic. Magic dark automatically detect visual illusions, same to against them, perceive the original form of a shape changer. Furthermore, one can see into the. I'll allow it for now. I'll allow it and say that you can see several things that sort of prop your interest, particularly for magical things. You don't see what kind of magic it is or what they do, but you can certainly see. Let me just find this. So you see a small, simple golden ring, and on the inside it says, "To my precious wife." That is magical, it seems. You see a set of very, very fancy grey boots that have some almost like swirl. You almost think like air patterns or designs at the bottom of them. You see a rod that is about 1 foot long and looks sort of like a Roman column kind of thing. It is made of stone, but it's incredibly light, about 1 foot long. It looks a bit like a sort of Roman column type thing. And you see a very, very fancy blue coat, like a dark ocean blue coat. And down the back of it, again, there are some down the back of it and down the sort of sides of it, there are some wispy sort of designs just on the bottom. They're very, very faint, but it is a lovely blue, almost like captain's coat, fairly similar to the one you have now. Like long, goes down just beyond the knees. Very, very large collar type thing to it. Lots of sort of straps and pockets and things like that on the insides, and different bits of that. In terms of actual stuff, if you guys would spend the little bit of time that you would need now to do that, you would find that inside this space is 1,200 platinum pieces.
Oh.
16,000 gold pieces.
Hang on, 1,200 PP, 16,000 GP.
GP. 20 holy symbols of different faiths, each worth about 50 gold pieces if you went somewhere and sold them to the correct faith. We don't have to roleplay that. We can just say when you dock up, your crew can take care of that for you. But just bear in mind, just write down that you have 20 of them, and they're worth 50 gold pieces each.
Everyone in Oramis' crew finds religion as their pay.
And about 6 gems worth 1,000 gold pieces each. What the gems are,
fucking hell. We're rich.
Yeah, that is a lot.
That is a lot. And
that's like over 30k gold, isn't it?
As you're looking through it, you hear one of the people downstairs. One of the people from one of the pirate crew sort of come up to you and say, "Oh, it's a shame they got rid of most of it.
Hey?
That would have been a mighty sum." Yeah, they had this. It was like a really big bowl, and every now and again they would all, like a load of cultists and that massive dragon, they would come here and they would put the gold in the bowl and start chanting this word. I don't know, T something, and then all the gold would disappear. All the things inside would disappear.
How would they do that?
I don't know, but it would start glowing, and we'd hear it from all the way up there, and then disappear. Crazy.
That's a real shame.
Thank you very much. Gin on delivery. This is fantastic.
That is pretty good.
That is pretty good.
Does Chantal deliver to Basingstoke?
Sadly not.
If we're just dividing the 4 gold between us, that's 8k.
He said if you're willing to pay.
If I'm willing to pay?
Yeah.
I'll just come into 8k gold pieces if you're interested. I don't know what the conversion rate is to British pounds, but...
So, yeah, you can pay Celine.
Okay. Well, I'll have to find her, and she's pretty elusive.
She is. There is also the Halflings of Dawnport. I'm assuming you would, eventually open their cells. Upon opening their cells, they are very, very thankful. They head downstairs and very, very quickly try and leave. Although one of them does come to you and say, "Oh, has anyone seen what happened to those two women? We said to them we wouldn't leave without them. I hope they're okay."
We're looking for them. What happened?
It was awful. A couple of days ago, things were getting heated. The cultists had overworked us, and they were complaining to us. And one of them, the older of them, I can't remember her name, she spoke back to one of these cultists. She argued against him, and another, I believe, one of her daughters spoke too. They were taken away from here. They were taken out of here. The other one of their daughters and many of our number were also taken last night. Have they found? Has my husband been found? Have you found the others of us?
We have rescued them. They're on a ship safely, just out to sea, waiting for us.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. I don't know where those 2 women might have gone. Another halfling man sort of speaks up. Oh, I had to. I think I overheard on my way back. I think the one with the red clothes and the bald head and the weird eye thing on his forehead. I think he intervened. I think they were with him for a time. when we first got here, I think I had to deliver some tea to his room. I might be able to take you to his quarters if you could find it.
Yes, please.
Yes, absolutely. Come with me. I'll see if I can find my bearings. And he takes you downstairs and into the prison. And we'll get to the...
If we share it, Luke, yeah.
And
I'm assuming we said everything as well. And that's no money for Mazzy either.
Yeah, Mazzy's fine. He's like, I don't know.
He gets by on adrenaline and arrows.
Listen, he's got that income coming in from the family farm. He's sound.
Yeah. He's alright. And finally, Kaiman, the prisoners are released by you. And you guys go through, unlock the cells for them, and most of the lizard folk come out and they just start like pounding you and basically like harassing you, but in a good way. Like, oh my, Kaiman, you came, Kaiman, and they all start speaking in this sort of like basically draconic, but there's they almost have an accent. They're very, very strong accent on it, similar to how you've heard Kaiman speak draconic. And they start saying, Kaiman, oh, thank you, you came for us. We thought it was over. They made us dig into the ground with strange weapons, and it was awful, Kaiman. It was awful. And you see many of them come to Kaiman and they start bumping fists. And you start to maybe realize that, as far as, you're concerned, bumping fists as a kid, like kids do, but maybe to this tribe, it's a little more sort of like a sign of respect or a sign of something. You don't know, but almost like a greeting. But many of them are sort of coming up and bumping his fist until, that is, one lizard folk emerges from the cell, one of the very dark cells. He is the biggest lizard folk you've ever seen in your life. He is this massive creature, at least like 8-9 feet tall, completely black scales over him, muscly as all hell. Like his traps are, he's one of them guys who's got like such big traps, he almost doesn't have a neck. It just goes like right into his head. He's hunched over as well. He is massive. He has to sort of like duck to leave. Kaiman, you know this man. He's your chief. You just know him by chief. That is what he is to you. And he steps up to you, Kaiman, and he sort of takes his big sort of lumbering steps and says, Kaiman, you came for your clan, your tribe. Why?
Got lonely.
Just like, you guys were here? IRL not smart enough to think of anything.
He sort of stands waiting for you to answer and says, no matter your reason, you did. I assume you lead this rabble.
I am out.
Well, they got me out of a cage, and so I thought it only fair to spare their lives. So I could tell that we were after the same thing. So, just like the tribe, together, strong. And I made you this. I waited for like a week, man. And showing him my the armor and the shield and everything that I made for him.
Yeah, you realize now, though this armor is like a little bit big on Kaiman, and it covers him very, very well, this would be almost like half plate to this massive thing. And this huge shield Kaiman has would be a regular one for this guy. And he looks down at Kaiman and he sort of like strokes his chin and he says, have I not always said, tribe, that Kaiman has the big brain?
I'll just whisper to Oramis, if he has the big brain, then I think extinction is on the cards.
Hey, we have spent generations butting heads with orcs. Okay, so there's nothing but head
gosh,
trauma.
what a battle of intelligence that is.
it's just years and years of head trauma for everyone. It's a rite of passage.
He puts his hand on your shoulder, Kaiman, on your massive port, and says, Kaiman, this armor is brilliant. Just what I asked. It was crafted in the name of Seku. But I think now, and he looks to your holy symbol and almost takes it in his hand, Seku has found his new champion. You wear this armor, this shield, with pride, Kaiman. It suits you.
Chief?
I appreciate you making it for me, but as my gift to you, you may keep it. As well as these. And he takes off these wraps on his hands. And to anyone else, to any regular person, they look like basic ass wraps. They look like basic sort of just leather wraps that he has wrapped around his around his wrists. And he undoes them and he begins wrapping them over Kaiman, your gauntlets, and beneath your gauntlets and sort of up your arm. And upon finishing, he says, these will give you strength, Kaiman. Strength to continue, to be the pride of our clan. Clan, come. We are leaving. Kaiman. They bump fists. Come. And you watch as all these lizard folk begin essentially parkouring down the many walkways and gangways of this place. Like they climb over the side, and very much like lizards, they just begin climbing all down the sides. Kaiman, if you would like to attune to these wraps that you have, if you have the attunement slot to do it, over the next hour, you begin feeling yourself getting stronger. A lot stronger. Really strong. Or at least really strong compared to what you are now. Your bonking power increases. And you begin feeling yourself just become a little bigger, a little brawnier. If you would like, you can increase your constitution and your strength to 18.
What were they before?
Don't mind if I do.
I think his strength was 16 and his strength was 12.
12.
16.
Oh, that's decent.
So, big buffs all around.
You only had a strength of 12, but you're like this ginormous.
I'm big boned, okay? I'm big boned.
Push him.
I just imagined you had a massive strength.
All his strength is going into holding up this armor.
Yeah. He's strong now.
He is now he is strong. These are, you can write down, these are the wraps of monstrous power.
Wraps of monstrous power.
And they are attuned. So they take up one of your attunement slots.
Shall we take a little break?
Yes, I was going to say, before we head down and figure out where Felix's wife and daughter are, yes, we can take a really quick little break and find them afterwards.
This is the worst / best game of hide and seek ever.
I know, right?
Felix is just wandering around the prison at the moment.
Yeah.
How many attunement slots do I have?
Looking.
Yeah, 3.
3, okay. Because I'm attuned to the Jabwalk, but I haven't used it.
Yeah. So I believe, you're attuned to the Jabberwock, and there might be something else. I don't think there is anything else. No, you just have a +3 shield and some fancy armor.
But, about the glove, the gauntlet?
No, that's not attuned either. That's just a +1. That essentially counts as like a +1 weapon. So not attuned. And your armor, your armor's not magical technically. It's just made of fancy stuff. Same as your shield. It's just big. So you can add wraps of monstrous power, and because of that, you have some HP to sort out. Because I believe your HP goes up. What was your con before? 16?
Yeah.
It's
So
now 18.
Gone up 2.
So you get 15 extra hit points to your max hit point.
Okay.
Because it goes up by essentially 1 every level. So, like as if you already had it. Yeah, 159. Which, for a 15th level character, whew,
Yeah.
craziness.
Beefy boy.
Yeah, beefy boy. Well, I thought I'd give that to you because I know you like bonking things, and it's sad when you can't bonk things. So now you'll have extra. You'll see that now your bite has a +9, your smithing gauntlet has a +10, javelin +9, all to hit, so that's great.
Ooh.
And you'll now +4 damage with them, so your bonking does extra bonk. And I know you like to be in the front lines and be this big beefy tank, so
For the It's a Tribe, bonk is life.
Mm. Oh, absolutely. Bonkers life. I didn't read your stuff. I didn't realize. You should have told me. I didn't realize you'd written a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you said to.
Yeah. So I did read it. Looks really, really good. Looks very, very good. Only difference is your tribe were taken by. I think we'll probably say that because you have the dim suns.
Yeah.
I'd probably say that. So your tribe were fighting them, and then those orcs took up with Rashak and the cultists of Tiamat. And then when your people went to fight them, they got captured with the help of like Arctothorn and Rashak and stuff like that. And that's why your people were taken, because they went and helped them. But you got them back now. Hooray! Good job, you. And, you know, spoilers, but later on your tribe will probably decide, hey, this massive jungle island where we can be left alone, it's a pretty nice place.
I was thinking like, wow, this prison would make a pretty cool dungeon that we could have. It would be ours.
Well, yeah, if you guys had, as I was saying before, if you guys hadn't gone with Nessia and had instead just sailed to the island to fight Rashak, yes, you would have been going through this prison like a dungeon and facing Rashak at the end. But, sadly, you went the other way and did the other stuff, which was still fun, but I just feel bad because I picked up this big prison island, yet you never, never spent a lot of time there.
It's like leveling up, like doing all the side quests first.
Yeah, like you just went on a path that I really didn't expect. I had the wizard sort of say, yes, we should team up. Not really, like even he didn't think that, you were actually going to team up with him. He just thought he'd hang a branch and see if you would help, because he has his reasons why he needs to do stuff, and well, that's that. It's been good fun. Do you think Kaiman will stay with his clan after this, or go?
I think he would. Like, that's what Kaiman would do. Because, like, although he was just going along, because, like he knows, he's not the smart one. He's smart enough to know he's not the smart one.
Yeah.
So, like, he usually just, like, he's been going along, and thankfully, it's resulted in, his civilization surviving. So, like, now he's probably like, damn, I should probably like try harder. So he's gonna, because our plan will be to move into this new place. So he's gonna be working on building a new home for his people.
Okay. I'd probably say then, because I'm just trying to think, because obviously, I mean, if you want to continue playing D&D with us after this arc, you're more than welcome to. I know the guys have really enjoyed having you here. So I'd probably say that to make things easier, we'll have a discussion about maybe why Kaiman stays, with the guys.
Or
Stuff. I have an idea already, but what?
Or if Kaiman's like, okay, like we things were pretty good in our old home, but we got screwed over because we were so ignorant to the outside. So now if I go with these guys and I learn more about stuff, like what other people are doing to survive, then I can bring it back to my people once they've settled.
Yeah,
and we'll be able to do much better. That sounds better. Then I can still use Kaiman.
You're also aware that obviously, there are dangers in this world. There are dangers happening. You know that, Rashak and all that is part of a bigger problem that the guys are trying to solve, this Tiamat. And, if that ever does happen and that comes to the world, that will obviously put your tribe in danger.
Mm.
So, if these guys need help, you are there to help to make sure that, your clan survives. Even if you're doing it for selfish reasons, you're still there doing it,
Kaiman will put on his teeny tiny glasses, bring out his notepad. He'll be start taking notes, just like, yes.
Oh, yes.
I will bring this to my people.
Yeah. That's funny. Need character handouts.
I've got to finish this damn dragon armor. Because 2 times in a row it's failed.
Yes, I don't think you had great luck. You did really well on the first one.
Yeah, and then
I think you did okay on the second one. So, it was a sort of pass.
yeah.
Yeah, not so great on the third one. So if I duplicate,
I'm gonna make a drink.
yeah, go for it.
Oh, goodness.
I am just working on your Briggs stat block now.
Ah, thank you.
No worries. So, 2 turns per turn. Crew, you only need 24, 48, no. 50, I'm going to say 20, how much? 30, so 74. Three actions per turn. How many actions do you get per turn? Strength 3. Oh, really? Got a higher strength. 3, 2, 3. Right, you get 2 actions per turn. Makes you slightly smaller. Cool. There you go. Your brigantine is there and ready. Ready for you to give it a name.
Awesome.
This is your ship, the Diviner.
It's been paid for.
Yeah, no, but it's still a nice name.
Yeah,
I don't know if you didn't read the small print either. It said name was to be retained upon purchase.
Ah.
Always read the small print, you fucking idiot.
Well, there we are. Finally got to the good dragon horde loot.
Yeah, that's some mad loot.
That is mad loot, but when you think that, so obviously your characters don't know this, but do you remember in the last arc when you heard that a bunch of the king's own money was taken to...
Oh, yes, yeah.
Traveling east. Well, when you get back to the other crew and you tell them about how much money you found, you might, they might have a bit of a light bulb moment to go, oh, that's where all the country's money went.
See, they don't need to know about our financial situation.
Yeah, they don't need to know that.
Also, it's not all the country's money, is it? They're not going to send all their money in.
Also, I'd like to hope 30 GP is not the entire wealth of the nation.
No, of course not. But it's like what was considered the king's reserves. So, in times of struggle, that could be used to rebuild things, pay for things, But now they don't have that because it was stolen, or at least a very large amount of it was stolen.
I still think that's shit. That's a shit amount of money to have as a backup.
Yeah. Well, I mean, think about it. In the last year,
that barely buys an expensive magic tattoo.
Well, think in the last. In the last year, they've had a war, a demon invasion, and all other stuff, and they've only, in the past couple of, maybe 5-10 years, found some stability from the Dragon War that happened 500 years ago, because everything just keeps going wrong in Ambyr. So things are things bad, yo. Until I will do Christmas, let me know, or it's money. Thank you.
I'm adding 8 GP to my income.
So what I got was, I'll do it with you again just so I get the accurate value. So I had 12,000 platinum, 1,200 platinum, which is 12,000 gold, plus 16,000 gold. Plus, it's 1,000 for the 20 holy symbols at 50 GP.
Yep.
And then plus 6,000 for the gems. Gives us 35,000. Divided by 4 is 8,750 each.
I made those gems ambiguous, so if anyone needs them for like spell components or whatever, you have 6,000 gold pieces worth of gems to potentially have there.
Okay.
Oh, geez.
I need some gems. I think I need 1,000 golds. No, I need 1,500 gold pieces worth of ruby dust. So if you see me at the bottom of your ship,
rubbing rubies.
Yeah, rubbing rubies together. That's why.
Yeah, we can say 2 of those gems were rubies. Very, very nice rubies. 1,000 gold each.
If you also
Very, very nice
you
rubies.
can just turn those into dust for you.
I can't ask nicely, so no. Force cage.
Oh.
Fucking spenny. Actually, to be honest, I'm happy with my choice of illusionary dragon. But I did look at clone, and I was like, nah, way too expensive. Only got 1,000 gold, and he's just given us 8k.
Yeah, I'm watching the Mighty Nine reunion. I'm really pissed actually. Have you guys heard of Daniel Sloss?
No.
He's a Scottish comedian. I love him, and he's really funny. Look him up. And he did Critical Role. We're at the Wembley Arena on October 25th, doing a live reunion of their second campaign characters. I nearly bought tickets, but I decided against it because it's like 3.5 to 4 hours sat there watching Critical Role. Like, that'd be fun in person, but also, sat next to strangers, and 3.5 to 4 hours just sat there, like, a long time. So I didn't get it, but he comes on and does like he came on and introduced him, Daniel Sloss, and then they introduced him as a character. Now they were level 20 characters going into this. He came into this little one shot as a level 5 monk, and spoilers, he fucking dies. He basically, I think it was probably discussed with them that he would just be cannon fodder and that he would die because he just ran straight headfirst into traps. He had a guy with like minus intelligence. He like the first trap he headbutted a wall and it stopped a trap from going off. So he was like, oh, so that'll work on every trap. So the second trap he did it on was a disintegration trap. He failed his save and got disintegrated into dust. So
Thank you for coming. See you later.
Told them some information that was important to the one shot. Did that, died, and then left again. It was fucking hilarious. There we go. Anyway, are we all back and ready to rumble?
JJ, you're away, but it's 8,750 each on the split of everything.
750. Thank you.
Make sure you note that down, and make sure you note the magic items down. Otherwise, I'm just saying you left them there.
I've noted them all down in my notes, so I'm happy to take them.
Cool. As long as someone's written them down, because I know a couple of times recently people haven't had magic items and stuff written down. And yeah, I think from now on, I'm just going to say, if you don't write it, you left it.
So just noting, there was a potentially magic gold ring, fancy grey boots with an air spot on them, a 1 foot long rod that looks like a Roman column, and an ocean blue coat.
Yes.
I haven't written any of this down because Felix wasn't there.
Yeah, fair enough. So, Felix, you are randomly wandering the halls. Make me any investigation or perception check. Your choice.
Can I get any sort of advantage on that because I'm casting message repeatedly into the void to see if I get a response?
It's
a cantrip.
Yeah.
I can do it indefinitely.
Yeah, you know what? I'll give you. Yeah, I'll give you advantage.
Sweet, that cancels out my disadvantage from being exhausted.
Excellent.
Oh, good. Another roll under a 10.
13. So it's taking you a very long time. You're wandering the halls and you're not exactly sure where you're going. And you don't find your wife. No. But you do eventually come across the prison cells. Just as Gylndan, Oramis, and, well, Carmen, you're with your people.
Felix, these people might know a thing or two about your wife and daughter. We're off to Nasir's office to have a look. Would you like to come along?
Yes, where is it? Yes, just
where
is it?
This man here is guiding us.
Hello. Yes. My name's Jonathan.
No, we don't need your name.
Oh,
you fucking peasant! Take us where we need to go.
Damn.
Oh.
I did not say that. Jonathan, lovely to meet you. Thanks for being so helpful. Take us to Nasir's domain, if you will.
Okay. Yeah. And he.
Did you like Nasir?
Well, I thought he was very, very, kind of scary.
Oh, good, because we cut his eye out and then ran him through while he was held down.
Oh my! I was about to say, but he never did anything harmful to me, unlike the cultists. But
whoops, didn't read that one very well.
Did you really? Why would you do?
Oh, sorry. He put the eye of. Nothing.
I think this guy's actually
nothing.
Gonna, yeah.
Nothing.
So you just randomly cut his eye out and then ran him through while he.
Oh no, he was a very bad man. Tried to kill us.
Yeah, he was a very bad man.
Okay, I guess I'll have to take your word for it. This way. And he.
I've just realised when we tell people our exploits, they don't come across very well.
Yeah.
Context is key.
Yeah.
Like, as you guys are walking down the tower, this guy was very chatty. He was telling you how he's a fisherman in Dawnport, and he come here, and he was telling you of his experience here, and he was telling you like, oh, I sure do. My wife, do hope my wife is okay back home.
I sure do, my wife.
I sure do hope my wife is okay back home, and yada yada yada. And ever since you said that, he is just dead silent, walking through these halls. But he does take you through the halls, and after a few minutes of walking, you end up going sort of like, essentially like around the back of one of the admin places, down some stairs, towards a rather grand-looking hall. It's towards the warden's office. And he sort of stands by the door, and he's like, in there. I sort of just used to leave the tea here, by the door. He stopped me taking him tea, the dragonborn, the black dragonborn with a tail and things. He didn't like us leaving ourselves when we weren't mining. In there, people were saying that dragonborn, that black dragonborn, that he was an actual dragon. Is that true? A dragon's back?
Oh yeah, we killed him as well.
Yeah, I killed him.
Oh, thank God! He threatened to throw us into the big acid pit. It was awful. I'll admit he was definitely a man that needed killing. Anyway, in you. I shouldn't say that. That's bad of me. Anyway, in you go, and you step in to this room. It somewhat resembles, sort of like, almost like captain quarters on certain ships. Because inside this room is both an office and a sort of bedroom, like sort of curtained off. There is a door into another room that is a bedroom in here. So this is almost like a studio apartment type place. You can see a large desk at the back of the room, and there's a large sort of bookcase right behind it. On one wall, literally stretching from floor to ceiling, is a man who you assume is the warden, a rather sort of round, like very pear-shaped, bald man with sort of like grey beard, human with a long cane and very fancy coat and things like that, or like one of them classic sort of Renaissance paintings, and he has like some kids at his feet you think are his children. And yeah, so large desk, large painting. If you were to look in the other room, there is a bed in the back of there, another sort of wardrobe on the side. In the main room, this is the main room, bedroom. In the main room, there is also a bookshelf on the right-hand side too. There's also a small fireplace and sort of like settees and sofas and things like that.
Looking for any hidden room potentials with an investigation check.
Yeah, just start to immediately turn over the room.
Okay, 16. So with the 16, yeah, see what everyone else rolls. Actually, so it's a good idea.
Get out, Oramis.
So still with the 16. So with everyone looking around, yeah, Oramis, you're sort of like a little, you can't immediately see anything. And on the table in front, you can see this very, very fine decanter of whiskey. And like glasses already there. You think maybe Nasir had a bit of a tipple before he left. And it's still half there. And maybe you just sit down and think, okay, I'll have one and then go. So that's why your investigation check isn't great. But Felix, you just start in a panicked running around the room. And it's not really working for you. But Gylndan, you take just that little bit, you're rummaging around, sure. You do end up just going towards like the back bookcase. And it's, you're checking in the drawers and you're checking things. And it's when you look down almost underneath the space, and then you look at the floor, and there's drag marks across the floor of this bookcase. And you can see that you think maybe that this bookcase swings open.
Are there any like knobs to pull, or is that a specific book?
With the 16, you start like just pulling through books and things like that, and you get to the sort of like right-hand green book. Pull it, and there is a, and the thing begins opening and opening until you can see a door. On the back of the bookcase, there is a small little gem that's just brightly glowing, as if that's giving a small light on the back of the bookcase, and there is a doorway. And you recognize in this instance, Felix, in your scrying, what you were seeing was not necessarily a door, but the back of this bookcase and this gem that's sort of like fixed to the back of the bookcase. So it almost would look like a door from within. And inside, you see two figures huddled in the back corner. One of them, a older elven lady, her hair now starting to go a little bit grey, even with her elven aging. Very beautiful woman, especially in your eyes. And her daughter, who was fast asleep, sort of like using your wife's like thigh as a pillow, but with everything opening, she immediately springs up and begins seeing all of you.
Yeah, push past like Gylndan and everyone else and just like barrel into the room.
Yeah, barrel into the room. Hugs are given, like both your wife, your wife starts like, just like almost like bawling and kissing on the cheek, and your daughter just like gives you like the tightest, hardest hug she's ever given you in your life. And there is just this very, very rather beautiful, serene moment of a family finally reuniting after some time. A few moments turn into minutes of just this rather lovely sort of embrace before finally you will yourself to let go, or your wife slightly pushed away. I'm so glad you came. I knew you would come for us. Oh my!
I'd never stop looking for you.
What happened to the? There was a dragon. My darling, there are dragons.
I know. I've seen two of them. Killed. Between us, we've killed two of them.
Oh my. Okay. That's the thing. You have friends. Oh,
Nice to meet you. We're a motley crew.
Can I take her hand and just...
I've only seen
Oh,
two.
Oh, Jesus.
We've seen 3.
I've seen...
Vaishal,
Oh, shit, yeah, I forgot about Vaishal.
the frost one.
I forgot about Vaishal, yeah.
Yeah.
Vaishal, the frost one.
Vaishal has just been helping out with all the...
Vaishal doesn't count, he's in hiding.
He's a friend, he doesn't count.
But yeah, she sort of looks at you all like, yes, you do seem to be a motley crew.
Yes, this is
Wow.
Oramis, he's captain of the ship.
I've heard that name.
I bet you have.
This is Gylndan. He's an incredibly powerful wizard.
Oh, thank you.
Guardians were telling us about.
Yes.
The Guardians, eh? What do you mean I am the Guardians?
No, we are the Guardians.
Sorry, we are the Guardians. +2. +3.
Yes,
Well,
that's what they like to call themselves of. Not quite sure what the Guardians are, but...
The dragons.
Oh, I keep
Even though
telling
we've just
everyone now.
killed 2 of them. Only we're guardians of the good dragons.
Living up to the
I see.
good
This
name.
is not much of a secret anymore. Then.
No, we're guardians. Well, I mean, they know dragons back, so we're guardians. We're guardians of good people. That's what we're guardians of. Doesn't matter your race, background, anything. As long as you make good choices, we're your guardians.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy.
Yes, apparently. Yes, Gylndan told me that there have been dragons in Ambyr for some time. Maybe if we're lucky, we will be able to visit them.
We can, yeah, I can take you to see some if you want.
Well, that would be very exciting. Sorry,
After we've got out of here and after you've recovered, what happened to you, my love? Your face, your hand.
It's nothing really. And she puts her hand behind her back and looks at us. My name is Jasmine. Lovely to meet you. As for what happened to us, well, we were in the cells and it had been a hard day of work. Look at, and she sort of shows you your daughter's hand, and you can see they are calloused and splintered, clearly been worked to the bone for the past couple of days, weeks. And we were worked to the bone one day, particularly hard. They were complaining we did not live up to expectations or schedules, and they were shouting at us, and I'd been shouted at all day, and I just had, I don't know what came over me. I think it was exhaustion. I had to say something, so I did, and well, I was taken from our cells, sadly.
The fiery temper of yours is what drew me to you in the first place.
Indeed.
Oh, fucking get a room, guys.
Why didn't we do this session in person? Then I could have made out for real.
True roleplay.
Yeah. Seduce the DM by seducing the DM. None of this roll for it bullshit that Luke uses.
We were taken away by some cultists. We were to see. I failed to know his name, but I believe him to be a dragon. They took us. They put my hand in some strange bowl with water, and the lightning zapped my hand. It's felt all strange and numb since.
Oh,
They were
I think they've given you powers, my lady.
powers. I don't really know if I wouldn't necessarily say I have powers. I mean, I can make some decent food. I'm not a bad cook, but I would.
Well, a power in itself, to be sure, but maybe if we get out of the cramped room, maybe into the hallway, and I'll just say, if you really focus your mind,
Go like that.
yeah, and just go like that.
I'm gonna roll first.
We encountered many individuals who had been marked in a similar way.
He sort of stands there like, okay, closes her eyes, looks up, and you see this streak of lightning shoot from her hand straight through the painting of the ex-warden. It crackles, it burns, and the painting briefly catches a light before going away. It is at that point then the daughter of Felix looks down and almost tries to cover her own hand, and you can see as she sort of like tries to pull her sleeve down, a bright, not bright, but a sort of like dull purplish blue, as if she's experienced frostbite all up her left hand.
Do you say she tries to put her hand away?
Yeah, she tried to sort of hide it almost, not feeling very confident.
Can I just sort of gently take it and I'll just tell her your dad is a mighty spellcaster, and this is nothing to be ashamed of.
Thank you.
I just talked to her like she's a 5-year-old. She's fucking 50, isn't she?
You take her hand. It is almost ice cold.
Yeah.
To the touch, it is terrifyingly cold. Dwarf says,
it's not what you're given; it's what you do with it.
Yes, I agree.
You must know some powerful people. One of your friends is they not a powerful healer of some kind? We'll get this all checked to make sure that you're all right.
Can't think of any. No, I'm really struggling actually. We have the final piece of the mighty guardians, young Dokramir. He is a skilled healer. He could potentially be an option. His mentor also resides up in the sanctuary we have. She could be useful.
Yes, that would be brilliant. This is very strange. I keep hearing. It's strange when I dream. There's a voice, a woman. She calls to me. I don't. It makes it very hard to sleep. I barely slept in days. Anyway, as I was saying, we were taken to then, after they put our hands in bowls and our hands became like this, we were taken to see the dragon. But then that man, I believe he was a wizard. He had the same symbol as you on your head.
Yeah, he is a disgrace to my order, I guess. He is a disgrace, yeah. But he's not a problem anymore.
Not, yes.
Oh, I believe he may have saved us.
Oh, well.
Oh shit!
we were going to be taken to the dragon, but he said that he what's that fucking word? He interceded himself. He took us to his office and said that we were to wait there. He said that the cultists were going to punish us, and that, well, he said that we were with you. I don't know how he knew, but he knew who we were to you. Every day he brought us food, which is more than we could say for being in those cells, and he kept us away. I believe he told the dragon that we were dead, that he wouldn't come looking for us.
I don't want to belittle what he did, but we entered a tumultuous agreement with him, and I think he might have been using you as collateral.
Oh, I see. Where is Zinnia? Have you found her?
Yes.
Is she all right?
Yes, she's safe. We have several ships. They are out to sea.
This isn't communist, mate. We haven't got several ships.
And I will use this moment to go and view through Quentin's eyes, who I left on the ship, to keep watch, just in case anything went wrong.
Yeah. Is Quentin your little lizard thing?
Yeah, Quentin's my gecko familiar.
Yeah. Okay. You look through Quentin's eyes, and very briefly, you kind of get worried because Zinnia is no longer there. Where is Zinnia? What?
I swear to God.
And then Quentin looks down, and it appears that Quentin is on top of Zinnia's head while she is sleeping.
Oh,
You're a bastard.
He is guarding her very seriously.
Excellent.
And he's sitting on top of her head. But yes, you have reunited with your wife. She continues to tell you, the conditions of mining, how it's fucking awful.
he just reminds me so much of the young gnome.
An unexplainable desire to bow a closet.
It's like, does he not look like Felix? And it pans over to this small 3-foot bug-eyed, insectoid devil. With big floppy ears, like goblin ears, and this weird shitness mouth. That was funny. Oh, go on then. Have an inspiration point for that, Luke.
Don't encourage him, Ben.
So, you head outside the prison. As I said, she, continues talking to you. But, both your wife and your daughter, take your hand and they hold it very, very tightly. You're taken out of the prison. You now stand once again in the courtyard, unless there's anything anyone would like to do in Nasir's office or in the prison itself.
No.
Because you've got papers in here.
Just make my way back to the ships.
Papers in here, yeah. Roll an investigation check. Hey, there we go. Yeah, so you begin looking around Nasir's office, and you do find lots of papers in one of the drawers of the main desk, and it's strange, Gylndan, as you're looking through these papers, you look at one, and there's this large tree on it. It's a drawing, and you realise Nasir was a somewhat decent draftsman, decent enough, and you can see that the tree he has drawn here, it's somewhat similar to the one that you saw in that brief vision when you looked at the Eye of Vecna. There are lots of drawings of trees here. There's lots of... On many of these pages, there's lots of drawing of branches and trees and lots of writing about arcane things which you would need to spend some time looking over, but there is one word that appears a lot of times throughout things. That word is Yggdrasil. Yggdrissil. Very, very peculiar. There's also some papers with the symbol of what you assume to be Vecna. It is a symbol of a sort of eye, a hand with an eye in the center. Similar to what you saw on some of the other papers of Vecna. And things
is there any link between the Tree of Life and Vecna?
You would need to spend a lot more time reading through that stuff to you have no idea right now, but yeah, if you were to spend maybe a few hours on the ship finding that link, reading through these and seeing what he was looking at, you might know. You also have his spell book and his bag of holding and his staff that you can look through on the ship as well, if you would like to see what he was looking at, working on, why he was here, yada yada.
Yeah, I'll do that on the ship. We can do that outside the session.
Yeah. So you're now, I'll say, you spent some time looking, you're in the courtyard. What would you like to do? Is there anything else people would like to do here, or are we sailing away? Sail away, sail away, sail away.
Drop a nuke in the middle of this shithole so that no one can ever use it again.
Do you have one of them to hand?
Do you have a nuke?
Yeah, I've written it in my inventory, so I must have obtained it legally.
oh, absolutely, yeah.
No, I think if we've got everyone, do we have prisoners?
You have the one person that
Felix killed him.
I didn't kill him.
Yeah, you have the one person that Frank and Mason subdued and that
I thought you
interrogated.
I thought when he didn't answer, you killed him.
No.
Oh, okay.
That was never spoken into canon. I just left.
You manifested it.
There are also probably about a dozen prisoners wandering around the island somewhere, probably being eaten by whatever displacer beasts are left.
Oh, so they've run the existing ones.
The rest of them, yeah, they ran off into the jungle.
They're criminals.
Well, they can meet a displacer beast fate.
Ben.
Yes.
You said there was about. Do you say there was about 20 sailors?
Yes, about 20 sailors. Yeah.
Okay. So I've now got a full crew on the Vengeance.
Uh-huh.
And I'm just checking the crew on the Dragon's Revenge. I'm now full crew on the Dragon's Revenge.
Fantastic.
So yeah.
You can still sail a ship without a full crew, depending on the amount of people. But it'll you'll get up speed, and in combat you'll only be able to do one action. As a sailor, you would probably think to yourself, okay, well, if the Dragon's Revenge crew help out on the brig, and then we do what we did before, where they drag essentially the Dragon's Revenge, that is probably the best way forward, because otherwise the brig will have to move at half speed, and then we'll have all my ships at half speed, and they'll be getting places at different times, and it'll be awkward. Yeah, before you leave, Kaiman, the lizard folk, your chief, comes to you and sort of puts his hand on your shoulder and says, Kaiman, we like it here, the heat, nice on our scales. And this place, well, it is an upgrade from the swamps we live in at the moment. We think we will stay. The jungle has served our people well for many years, and maybe some solitude here would be good for our people. If you have need of us in the future, find us here. But it seems your path is taking you with these folks. See what you can learn. Remember, your clan is always here if you need them.
I'll do you proud, Pops. I mean, Chief.
Do not get emotional.
Bonk.
Excellent.
I'll go out there. I'll learn what I can. I'll defeat these dragon guys.
He's already gone.
Oh.
Him and the lizard folk have already run off into the jungle. like you're that perfect.
Yeah, I was like,
stuff.
I'm gonna do us proud. I'm gonna spread the word of our tribe. Oh, they're gone.
Yeah.
I'll catch you later, guys.
And so you can get on board the ship, get on board your ships now, and sail away from this place, knowing that you have done pretty good work, all things considered. Where would you like to go first?
Oh, well, I'd like to distribute. I'd like to say to my fellow guardians, I'd give what's his face his 1,000 GP.
Yeah, Nathan is 1,000 GP. He takes it in big bags.
And thanks for the ship, and then say to the other guys, hey, I found 2,000 GP here. You guys can split that out among yourselves.
Okay. One thing to note, so you've hired 20 new crew members.
Yeah.
It is 5 gold pieces to hire an individual crew member for a time. And whatever else you would like to give to the crew, you absolutely can do.
I will refuse all of Oramis's money and say these people have known hardship for the past few weeks. I suggest you pay them properly.
Hey, that's why I've kept back 1,000 Gs, is so that I can pay my crew well.
Okay, well maybe pay them a bit better than you were thinking of, and I'll hand mine back.
All right.
And then I'll wink at him and I'll say, plus election campaigns can be expensive.
My man. Well, Carmen and Felix, here's 1,000 GP for you guys to share between you. I'm joking. Whatever your share of the 2,000 is.
Your wife starts nudging at you, Felix, thinking, we can finally do that extension. Think it.
Oh, yeah.
I can finally have my book. Lovely.
So 2,000 divided by 3 is 666 each.
Who's the third one?
Well, I'm including yours in that.
Yeah. So is it just 2,000 divided by 2 between Carmen and Felix?
Yes. have 1,000 GP each, guys.
1,000 GP.
He says while grimacing. Oh,
Sam, I've never seen a nat 20 in real life, but that persuasion check was exquisite.
Thank you.
So, you begin sailing away. It is the middle of the night now, so obviously sailing away, you probably, get people on board the ships, get a rest in. Though you want to get a rest in, but there is actually more celebration than you're quite prepared for. People immediately start going into, drink rations and rum rations and bottles of rum and things like that you have aboard the ship. And a small party is had. Many of the people here are very exhausted, so it makes sense that it's not some, raucous party, but certainly people are jolly and celebrating. And throughout the night, you are lulled to sleep by a few sort of common halfling folk songs that are sung loudly into the night. And then you realise halflings, they've got some lungs on them. And they're singing songs, a bit like gypsy songs, that they sort of sing in, they're sing in bars and stuff. It's a little bit like that. Like a lot of these halflings sort of gather on the deck of one of your ships and they just start singing, and it's quite a somber, rather touching, lovely evening where you get to somewhat reflect on the good that you've done here. Where are we sailing, boys? We got halflings that clearly want to go back home to Dawnport. You have an election campaign in the Shattered Coast. You have allies in the capital.
I was thinking potentially send your ships to Dawnport to drop off the halflings and anyone else who wants to maybe start a life there, but they can make their way from there, and then I can teleport us wherever we need to go. And we can get there a bit quicker, because we're quite a few days' travel from the Shattered Coast or Dawnport, aren't we? So
yeah, from here, it'd be at least maybe 8 days.
Oh boy,
9 days by boat. and that's only if you go on the Vengeance, because your Vengeance is somewhat magically powered to go a bit faster over travel distance.
Can I send a message to Dokramir?
Of course.
Using sending, I shall say to the young Dokramir, hello, chap. Hello, chap. Been interesting couple of days. Defeated another dragon priest. Light work, really. How are things with you? Fancy meeting up soon? Kiss. I had one word left.
Doc, how would you respond?
Doc will respond. Looking forward to seeing you. Need to go to Hawksmoor. Would like you to be there. Where shall we meet and when? Kiss, hug, kiss.
I'm sensing. I'm shipping this. Not gonna lie.
I'll message back. I'll say, "Where are you now? Capital could be good. We are on the sea. Oramis has another boat. Fuck's sake. Could meet in Hawksmoor if better."
Another boat.
Can we go to Hawksmoor?
Shit. He'll be insufferable now. Sorry, more insufferable. Yes, meet in Hawksmoor. Will travel with Griffin. Think he'll get on with Oramis.
Will he now? Okay, yeah, that'll do. Right, we have a destination.
Okay, you have a destination. Is that where you're teleporting now? Or
No, we'll go. I think we'll go back to the Chateau Coast. We've got. Oh, who we taking? We've got Pons. We need to take Ponsky back, really.
Yeah, Ponsky wasn't there for the fight, but he was on the ship, quote unquote, protecting the ships. He was very, very tired and facing a dragon, and he still can't turn back into a werewolf. Can't until dawn. So yeah, Ponsky was just chilling out. He will have a word with Oramis in a little bit, but we'll sort that in a second. Continue, Simon.
What?
Continue. Sorry, I cut you off a little bit there. What is the plan?
Well, I think maybe if we could sleep on the boat and then decide to go somewhere in the morning.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm actually gonna message Moraine.
Okay.
And I will say, "Where are you? Nasir problem dealt with rather graphically. Discovered an old evil that perhaps will need sorting." Yes, in response to your question. Yeah, location, please.
She responds with, "Oh, I see. Well done. Though he had good intentions, one must question. Though he had good intentions, one must question his methods. I'm in the capital. Could use help here when available." I think that's 25. Yeah. Yeah, that's 25.
I will go into a cabin and I'll let Nathan know that I'm just going on some business.
Okay.
And then I will teleport to the capital.
Oh, what?
Okay. You stand there with your staff. You cast teleport. They fail.
Say again, sorry?
It fails.
It fails?
Yep. You try and cast teleport to the... I'm assuming you're doing it to the teleportation circle in the thing. Or are you just going capital?
I'd probably go to the Wizards College, if anything. If she says she's in the capital, yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah. I would normally go to the circle, but if she says she's in the Wizards College, I would teleport there because I've got.
Well, that's what the circle is.
Is it?
Yeah, the circle is in the Wizards College.
Oh. Well, I would go there then.
Then it fails.
Oh dear. Does it even go off, or?
You begin casting the spell. The red mist, the sort of like the magic begins to sort of swirl around you, and then just as you're reaching out, almost with your magic to make a connection of where you're going, you can no longer find the place that you're going. A fucking meteor hit the college.
Yeah. Okay. So, does that use my spell slot, or?
I would say roll me an Arcana check.
Would he not still teleport? He would just suffer the usual penalties of teleportation because
Death.
it's not guaranteed.
To say death.
Yeah.
Because he can't specifically hit that circle, so he's just trying to go to the same place as the circle.
Well, in the casting of, you don't use the spell, by the way, so you can try again. The way I see it is when you cast teleport, you choose either a place or a specific circle in a place. He chose the specific circle in a place, therefore the spell fails. But if you want now, you can try and just go to the capital, if you would like. If you'd like to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll go to the Westland. Is the Westland Arms near the college?
It's in the same district.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go to the Westland Arms then.
15-minute walk. Yeah. You so roll me the D100. Have to get it.
Why?
Because you're casting teleport to a place, and if you roll really badly, things could happen.
Do I have I have an associated object though. I have my my regular's mug from the Westland Tavern.
Do you really keep a mug from the Westland Tavern?
Yeah. No, I'll roll a D100.
Cool. I would say you are very familiar with this place, so it's
Okay.
25.
Goes off without a hitch.
You're fine. Goes off without a hitch. You suddenly magic swirls around you, and suddenly you appear in the Westland Tavern. There, it's nighttime now, so you probably appear. The bartender greets you and says, hello.
No, can't stay. We'll be back soon though.
Okay, just gonna say your friends are upstairs. Fine, sure.
Which friends?
There was one. I think you were drinking with him before. He's a big axe and long hair, and there's the dwarf. There's one. I think he's a councilman now. He's I think generals something. I think they're all staying upstairs.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll
David
be
got
back
promoted to
with him.
councilman. He definitely needs permanent lodgings.
Yeah, he does. I will. Okay. If anything come down, tell him I'm here, and I'll be back shortly.
Oh, yeah, sure. Oh, okay. And
I'll run on over to the Wizards College.
Yeah. You leave the Western Tavern and begin walking down the streets of the capital, familiar streets, and a familiar route. And as you're walking down, you look around for the sort of familiar sights, and you look around for the castle. It's not there. A bunch of rubble is there now. You look sort of towards some of the spires of the city, spires of the many churches, and the largest, most prominent spire, it's also not there anymore. And as you arrive at the Wizards College, you can see one of the side-facing walls has entirely collapsed to the Wizards College. You can see many wizards and dwarves and different people working into the night, picking up much of the rubble. There's still much work to be done, sadly. And though most people have gone to bed, some people are still awake. One of them, seemingly Moraine, who is awakened here. She's clearly sort of like using Mage Hand to pick up some small stones, and also, using some other sort of magic to
That is the wizard's equivalent of the laziest bullshit. Oh yes, I use Mage Hand to pick up some tiny stones.
Well, Mage Hand can only carry up to 5 pounds, so it's like sweeping things away while she's like picking up and actually doing other stuff, like, extra hands.
I'm just imagining her just sort of standing there like this, just sort of like waving at a broom.
It is also like 1 a.m. right now. or like maybe like. But yes, you see Moraine outside. She's wearing her regular sort of like blue dress, but with a bit of like a fur sort of like overcoat over it because it is a bit nippy. There's some of the different. Oh, Gylndan. Oh,
what the fuck happened here?
oh yes. So the invasion I said would happen happened. Very great wizard. Well, great. You know, powerful wizard. She summoned several meteors. One hit here. One hit the castle. One hit the Temple of Pelor, or the Cathedral of Pelor. And one of them hit one of the walls, just north of here. It was a intense battle, and as I'm sure you can probably see, things are a little bit dire here. It's why I was asking for your help. Things are a little strange here. The council is convening soon.
Okay, it sounds like a lot, Moraine, and we can talk about it later, but I have something to say.
I love you.
Marry me.
When I callously put your life on the line in my trade with Nasir, I realised how much I care for you.
Uh-huh.
Oh shit, I was right.
I thank you. I care for you also, and that is why I will give you this small piece of advice. Be careful. If there's one thing I've learned from this year, is that as we grow in our magics and we become more powerful, one can get carried away in its, well, power. And though I know you're a good man, and I'm not saying that you're going to become an evil wizard, but just please, just have some fucking humility. Every wizard that I've really known has gotten to the stage of the arcane that you are at, that I'm at, generally grow a bit of an ego, and that can get them into some dark situations. Remember that beneath the magic, beneath everything, you're not just a man, and that there's only so much one man can take, magic and all, and that it can't solve everything. Remember that, and I think we'll be fine.
Okay. Can I lean in and kiss her?
Oi, sly dog.
Yeah. Roll.
We're stood here kissing over the ruins of the college.
Yeah.
How romantic.
Yeah, no, I think I think she'd accept it, and she'd sort of like, as you do, she almost sort of one of them situations where she's very surprised and she almost recalls back, but maybe then realizes it's something that maybe inside she wanted as well. It is short, it is sweet, but she sort of recalls back and says, "So, Nasir, he's taken care of."
Oh, he is gonzo.
I see. A question: Do you have a staff on you right now?
No, I might have brought it actually. I haven't attuned to it, but yeah, so I'll just hand it to her. Because I got all this stuff.
Yeah. Oh. Yes, I can see. And she takes a staff and she sort of looks it over. She looks at this one point on the tip of the staff. Now, Nasir's staff is this like long metal staff, and at the as it comes towards the sort of end, it goes into like this swirling pattern, almost like the swirling pattern of like a portal. And she looks at this very slight sort of dent in it, very slight bit where the swirl sort of goes off kilter a little bit, and she stares at that for a little while. And she said, "Yes, he I'm glad he's dealt with. Did you talk to him much? Do you know why? What he was doing?
I do, but it's for another time.
So
I need to go and catch up with my companions. Wouldn't mind if you came, and I'll offer him my hand.
Sure. Let's go. She takes your hand, and you begin wandering through the streets of the capital, where she doesn't really say much for a little while. Eventually, she does sort of like break some of the awkward silence with something along the lines of, "So if I was here defending against an army of undead, what were you doing?"
Fighting a beholder and a dragon and a dark wizard.
She lets go of your hand and just stares at you for a brief second. Okay, we are going to need... I don't often drink, but we're going to need some. Let's go. And continue your way to the Westland Tavern, and we'll pick that conversation and everything else up at the start of the next session. Congrats, folks. Good job. You did it. Arc over, technically, sort of. I mean, pretty much. You left the Silverhold Island. Rashak's dead. Prisoners saved. Congratulations. All of yous, except for Oramis, because I already gave you one for a joke. Everyone gets an inspiration point. I think there was some very, very good roleplay in this session. Sam with Marine at the end, and JJ with his wife, and Ryan with his hilarity with his chief. Very, very, very good stuff.
I love you, Dad. No, Chief.
And just like a lizard man father, he left without saying a word.
Is that how Coleman achieved his position? Through nepotism?
So, if I can just hold you for a brief second just to say that, so we're now entering a bit of a weird time of, I guess, a bit of downtime. Other than potentially going to the tower where Tiamat has asked you to come and speak to her, there's not a whole lot of, really, it's up to you guys. Obviously, Griffin and Doc have their business in the Dwarven Mountains. You have the end of a sword to get, potentially in the Feywild. You have Balzanor, who has a demon taking over his body somewhere, wherever the fuck he is. There are many things you would like to do, and also a little bit of sort of wibbly-wobbly free time.
Timey-wimey.
Where, timey-wimey stuff, where you have a bit of free time and you guys can do whatever you want. So if you guys have any ideas for your characters of what you'd like to do, any other goals, any other achievements, small missions, large missions, ambitions, things you'd like to do with all your fancy gold, whether that be by the book or not by the book, and it's something we can discuss, let me know. If you can just let me know sort of what you think, obviously discuss it in the week, and I think next session is probably fairly clear-cut that we're probably going to be picking up with conversations in the capital, and maybe Oramis going to the South Coast, and bits like that. But if you could sort of let me know of your general plans going forward, because, I mean, there's several things from now, but we're reaching the home stretch, I guess, sort of. This bit is...
Yeah, we've been summoned to the tower, haven't we?
Yes, Tiamat has said there are some things for you to discuss. So, I mean, if that's a thing that you would do, straight up, then absolutely, you can do that. I have that mostly prepped already. But yeah, just to let you know, obviously, if there's any other stuff any of your characters would do, not just the ones we've just been playing, any of your characters, if there's something else Galahad wanted to do, or Griffin, obviously you have your things you'd like to, you have to sort out in a minute. But yeah, we'll sort of be running it like that. And if you could let me know, obviously before the session, what I need to prep, essentially, because lots of missions going on, and I'd like to know which one you want to do first. And as much as obviously I have an idea of what they're all going to be, I don't have things like maps and other bits written out. Yeah, it's all good. We'll go over some of the other stuff next session. Did we want to do the magic items and stuff next session, or do you want me to prowl on through what they do really quick now?
I think next session.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, either next session or just ping them all in the chat or something. Probably next session.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, cool. Yeah, so if you guys could let me know if you have any ideas for that stuff, and sort of what your plans are moving forward, that'd be great. Otherwise, good session. Hope you all enjoyed. Bit of a sort of lighter session, actually, without rolling initiative combat, I should say. So, yeah, hope you all enjoyed. I'll see you guys next week.
See you next week.
Cool. Bye.
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 Have a good one.